This video app review is brought to you by the iPhoneAppReview.com.
Hey there, this is Valerie Lauer with the iPhoneAppReview.com, here with a video review of an app that we've had this week. It is called Camera Minus. I will go ahead and get that launched. We will get everything adjusted, and then we'll talk a little bit about this awesome application. Now, this application is actually a photo editing and photo capturing application, and it's probably one of the most exciting, most inclusive, and most detailed photo apps that I've ever even seen or had my hands on. So we really are big fans of it here at the iPhoneAppReview.com. So not a bad app at all. Now, this is a little bit of a tutorial page that pops up when you first start using the app. I have it popping up just so I can kind of show you some of the features before we go into actually using the application. The icons that you're seeing right now, other than the show tutorial button and the orange words, would normally appear when you were looking at a photo capture page. That means that while you're getting ready to take a picture, you have an option to touch the screen briefly and bring up this little icon here with the four blue areas. Now, what you can do is you can actually manually adjust your focus and your exposure by touching and dragging these circles to places on the screen to set it up while you're taking your picture. So the idea is to do your photo editing while you're taking your picture, which saves you a lot of time. This is definitely a one-stop kind of shop application, which is great. Now, you can also use the slider here on the side to go through some settings, check out your camera roll, to go to manual, automatic, and there are also some really great little tutorial videos, which we'll look at real briefly. We're not going to actually go through and watch any of them, but this walks you through everything from taking the first photo, changing the focus and the exposure, zooming, using a great feature called the clapper, where the sound of a clap takes the picture for you, and going in and changing your settings. And those are all just YouTube videos. So now we've kind of gone through that, let's go ahead and choose close. And here's the main screen that will pop up when you have that other feature turned off. And normally this is where you would be seeing the background with the picture. Now, obviously we do this in the dark. You're not gonna be able to see anything right now, but normally you would have a photo, whatever you were trying to take a photo of here in the background. This is your camera, your photo capture area. As I mentioned before, a simple touch and release brings up this. Now, normally when you have something to focus on, you'll have one for focus and one for exposure. This is just the combination version. Here on the side, you can transfer between features. So here's manual mode, automatic mode, settings, which we'll come back to in just a minute, doing a test, setting a timer, burst mode, which lets you take more than one photo in a row without editing it, just saves them to your roll, doing it in normal mode, and going into your camera roll. So very, very cool, very simple, very easy to use. Now, the magic starts happening when you get into these settings. Now, the settings, you can go into auto, you can go into instead of manual, you can go into your library, or down here you have an option to choose normal mode, where you can actually go in and change everything from what the icon is for it, which is great, to what happens with these options and settings. You can turn on the front or back camera, you can choose your white balance, you can have your digital zoom be on or off. You can use a grid. I like grids when I take pictures. I think they're a great way to make sure things are optimized. You can do a horizontal line, you can have the stabilizer turned on, which means if you aren't holding your iPhone stable, you will not be taking a picture, just to make sure you're getting high quality shots every time. And it just seems to go on and on. Something that's pretty cool as well, which again isn't going to be, and you can manually set up the balance for what these modes are too, which is amazing. One thing you can do is create your own. Now, this one down here where it says test is one that we just created earlier. You can change this to whatever you want to call it by using your keyboard. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that just to move on. You can also choose your icon, as I mentioned before, set up what mode it's going to be in, your stabilizer, your timer, the clapping mode, all that right here. And everything we looked at earlier, the grids, the autosave options. Now, we are going to talk about autosave. You can also have autosave go directly to Facebook, to Twitter, or to Dropbox, or to none, which is where we are right now. However, that means the second you take that picture and you get to editing it, it sends it there automatically, which is really an amazing feature. Which means this application is going to kind of triple duty. It's taking your pictures, it's editing your pictures, it's also letting you upload them automatically, and it's just generally being amazing. So once you have all the settings where you want to have them and you're on, say the side here on auto, you actually tap that button to capture your picture and you get a preview instantly. Now, obviously it's not of anything right now, but you can change that menu we just saw a second ago to the other side if you want to as well, to the left, just so you know. That's one of the settings you can change. Alright, so we took it, we captured it, and you can either go back, you can edit the picture, you can share it, or you can save it. Now, editing is also very, very easy. We'll look over it real quick. But you have everything from contrast, to sharpen, to orientation, noise reduction, to crop, which is just a real basic touch feature. There's an option to resize it with this application, to add a border with this application, to add an effect, to retouch, which is amazing. I don't think I've ever had an app that let me just retouch a photo. You can change it to a scene or back to the beginning. So as you can tell, this rotates like the one does in the beginning. And then here again, you have options to share and do fun other things as well. So this application, as we've already kind of seen, is a total solution. I have no complaints. Here at the iPhoneAppReview.com, I did give this a 4.5 out of 5 stars for having so many features, for being so inclusive, and for working like a charm and being so customizable. We're big fans of Camera Minus. This has been Valerie Lauer with the iPhoneAppReview.com with a video app review of Camera Minus. Until next time.